Jarvis James coming to you again with another talk. There has been three atrocities that has happened to black people in America. And those three atrocities has been slavery, Jim Crow South, and the dependency on the welfare state. Blacks have, we've survived slavery. Blacks have survived even Jim Crow South. But blacks have failed to survive the dependency on the welfare state. And so welfare has done more damage to black families than slavery, Jim Crow South, mass incarceration, all put together. When you look at a period of history when blacks was at its probably most prosperous times in our communities and in our families, let's just use for example a couple of examples. Greenwood, Oklahoma, and Rosewood, Florida. Well, in Greenwood, Oklahoma, you had what was called Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street, the people in that community of Greenwood, the suburb of Tulsa, Oklahoma, they had businesses, they had schools, there was a lot of entrepreneurship. Unemployment rate was real low. Same as in Rosewood, Florida. Of course, there was a big race riot in 1921. Greenwood, Florida, wiped the whole community out. And then 2 years later, in 1923, there was a big race riot in Rosewood, Florida. But without going into the details of that, look at what happened look at the correlation of the variables in Rosewood as well as in Greenwood. The family unit, go back and look at the data, the family unit was two-parent households. You had man and woman either cohabitating together, or you had a husband and a wife living together, raising kids. That is the strongest unit that any community can have. A husband and a wife, man and woman raising kids. And so that's when our community was the most strongest. That's when the community and the family was the most prosperous, when you had a husband and a wife raising kids. And so when you have the weakest times and the most unprosperous times of black communities is when you have a single parent home, whether you have a woman raising the kids or you're having a man raising the kids all by himself. That's the weakest one. And so we have to get back to the God image. That's a biblical image of having a husband and a wife raising kids. And so for you single girls out there that's handling it, holding it down on your own, what you need to do is find a mentor, a man that you can trust, a coach, a teacher, a pastor, some guy in your family. We need to have guys that's involved in girls' lives as well as in boys' lives in our families, so that we can get to a point where we are successful and that we're prosperous. And so we need to get back to where our communities was healthy and striving. And we can only do that by raising up the consciousness of our families, instituting the biblical image of a husband and a wife, a man and woman raising kids.